Hello friends, I'm Sunil Sawant, International Memory Athlete, Brain Performance Coach, and I welcome you all in today's book decoding session on behalf of Mind Cafe Academy. Friends, do you really want to take your earnings to a higher level? Do you want to excel in your business or in your job? Do you want to improve your health, your relationships? And if you're a student, do you really want to be a topper in your class or in your school? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then today's book decoding session is for you. The author of the book shares some simple methods which have been also used by the most selected people in the world like Jack Canfield, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Anthony Robbins, and many more. In today's session, we are going to talk about the book written by Darren Hardy, and the name of the book is The Compound Effect. Jumpstart your income, your life, and your success. Step by step, day by day, your choices will shape your actions until they become habits, where practice makes them permanent. That is what Darren Hardy says. This book is all about no gimmicks, no hyperbole, no magic bullet. The compound effect is based on the principles that decision shapes your destiny. Little everyday decisions will take you either to the life you desire or to disaster by default. Darren Hardy, publisher and editorial director of Success magazine, presents The Compound Effect, a distillation of the fundamental principles that have guided the most phenomenal achievements in business, relationships, and beyond. This book has a special message in the beginning from Tony Robbins. Do you know Tony Robbins? World's leading speaker, trainer, coach, and author. And Tony Robbins says, take 100% advantage of this book. Use it as a guide to create your life and success you want. Tony Robbins says, when you are choosing someone to guide you through a period of transformation or to help you to achieve the life you want, then don't just listen to what that person says. Watch what they do, because what people say is one thing and what they do reveals the truth about them. Darren Hardy is a person who walks his talk. What he shares in this book is based on what has worked in his life. Darren Hardy is a person who has used simple but profound fundamentals of what it takes to be successful and earned more than $1 million a year by age 24. And he has built a company to more than $50 million. In the introduction section of the book, the purpose of the book is written. And the purpose of the book is to help people understand overnight success is a myth. There is no magic bullet secret formula or quick fix to success. Smart work is not a substitute of hard work. They go hand in hand. Earning success is hard. The process is laborious, tedious, and sometimes even boring. This book takes you back to basics. Do the right things and keep doing them day in and day out, and you will experience the best life has to offer. So guys, are you excited to understand all the methods given in the book in detail? Yes, the book has been divided into 6 different chapters. Every chapter is related to each other. So let's start with the first one. And the first one is the compound effect in action. Friends, do you know that expression slow and steady wins the race? Have you ever heard the story of tortoise and the hare? Yes. Friends, don't worry even if you are a tortoise, okay? Because if you get enough time, you can beat anybody, anytime in any competition. Why? Why? Not because you are the best or smartest or fastest, okay? It is because you have developed positive habits and you have been applying those habits every day, regularly and consistently. It's okay if you lack in experience, you lack in skill, you lack in intelligence or innate ability. It doesn't matter how smart you are or you aren't. You need to make up in hard work. If your competitor is smarter, more talented or experienced, you simply need to work 3 or 4 times harder and you can still beat them. The compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small and smart choices. What's most interesting about this process is that even though the results are massive, the steps at that moment don't feel significant. Most people get tripped by the simplicity of the compound effect. For instance, They quit after the 8th day of running because they are still overweight. What they don't realize is that these small, seemingly insignificant steps completed consistently over time will create a radical difference. So always remember, guys, the formula given in the book is small, smart choices plus consistency plus time given is equal to radical difference. Okay. And then there's a powerful example given in this book. And the example is all about the magic penny. So friends, are you excited to know what is this magic penny? Yes. Suppose you are given a choice between taking 1 rupee, which doubles in value every day for next 1 month or for next 31 days, right? That means you have rupee 1 today on day 1. Day 2, you'll be having rupees 2. Day 3, it will be rupees 4. Day 4, you'll be having rupees 8. And day 5, it will be rupees 16. You have 1 rupee, which doubles in value every day for next 31 days. That is option number 1. And the option number 2 is, suppose you will be given 1 lakh rupees lump sum right now at this instant. Then which one would you like to go for? 1 rupee, which doubles in value every day for 31 days, or 1 lakh lump sum right now? Which one would you like to go for? Think. And most of you will go for 1 lakh rupees, right? But if you are still thinking, then forget about 1 lakh rupees, friends. Suppose I give you 10 lakhs rupees, then which one would you like to go for? Think. 1 rupees doubles in value every day for next 31 days, or 10 lakhs rupees lump sum right now at this instant. Think which one would like to go for. And most of you will go for 10 lakh rupees. But if you are still thinking, forget about 10 lakhs rupees, suppose I give you 10 crore rupees, then which one would you like to choose? 1 rupee doubles in value every day for next 31 days, or 10 crore lump sum right now at this instant. And most of you go for 10 crore rupees. Suppose you go for 10 crore rupees and your friend Ramesh, he goes for 1 rupee option. Then what happens? The compound interest formula, the compound effect magic, what happens? On day 1, you have 10 crore rupees and your friend Ramesh has only 1 rupee. On day 5, what happens? You have 10 crore rupees and Ramesh has only 16 rupees. Day 10, you have 10 crore rupees and Ramesh has 512 rupees only. Think, guys, what your friend Ramesh must be feeling. And you are enjoying 10 crore rupees. You are spending 10 crore rupees. You are loving your decision. You are loving your choice. What happens on day 20? Day 20, you have 10 crore rupees. Yes, and your friend Ramesh has only 5,24,288 rupees. Think, guys, what Ramesh must be feeling with all the positive approach, with all the positive thinking, and with all the sacrifices. He has barely more than 5 lakhs rupees, and now only 11 days are left. But guys, the invisible effect of compound effect starts becoming visible on day 31. On day 31, what happens? On day 31, you have 10 crore rupees and your friend Ramesh will be having, oh my God, 107 crore 37 lakhs 41,824 rupees. And that is why I said, my dear friends, consistency over time is very, very important. And that is the reason Albert Einstein says compound effect is the 8th wonder in the world. Very few things are as impressive as the magic of compounding pennies. This force is equally powerful in every area of life. Friends, this force is equally applicable in all areas of life. Let's go for another example, friends, to understand the power of compounding effect and the magic of compounding effect. Okay, this example is all about the 3 friends and their insignificant habits. They are Larry, Scott, and Brad. These 3 friends, or these 3 buddies, who all grew up together. They live in the same neighborhood with very similar sensibilities. Each make around $50,000 a year. They are all married and have average health and body weight. Friend number 1, Larry, is happy, or he thinks that he's happy, but complains occasionally that nothing ever changes. Okay. Friend number 2, Scott, He starts making some small, seemingly insignificant positive changes. He begins reading 10 pages of a good book per day and listening to 30 minutes of something instructional or inspirational or motivational on his commute to work. He also has cut 125 calories from his diet every day. Okay. And the friend number 3, Brad, makes few poor choices. He recently bought a new big screen TV so he can watch more of his favorite programs. He has been trying out the recipes seen on the food channel. He also installed a bar in his family room and added one alcoholic drink per week to his diet. Nothing too crazy. Brad just wants to live a little more fun. Now, listen. At the end of 5 months, no perceivable differences exist among Larry, Scott, and Brad. Larry keeps doing as he always has. Scott continues to read little bit every night and listen to audios during his commute. Brad is enjoying life and doing less. But after about 25 months, we start seeing really measurable, visible differences. At month 27, we can see an expansive difference. And by month 21, the change is startling. Friends, the change is startling. Brad is now fat while Scott trim. Simply cutting 125 calories a day, Scott has lost 17 kgs. Scott invested almost 1,000 hours to read good books and listen to self-improvement audios. By putting his newly gained knowledge into practice, he has earned a promotion and a raise. Best of all, his marriage is thriving. Okay, what about Brad? He's unhappy at work and his marriage is on the rocks. And what about Larry? Larry is pretty much exactly where he was 2.5 years ago. The phenomenal power of compounding effect is that simple. Friends, the phenomenal power of compounding effect is that simple. After 31 months or maybe 31 years, the person who uses the positive nature of the compound effect appears to be an overnight success. But in reality, his or her profound success is the result of small, smart choices completed consistently over time. So once you understand the magic of compound effect, it will help you get rid of insta result expectation. So friends, what are the action steps? Write out few excuses you might be clinging to. That is, I'm not smart enough. I don't have experience. Wrong upbringing, don't have the education, etc., etc. Decide to make up in hard work and personal development to outcompete anyone, including your old self. Be Scott. Be Scott. That is what I'm recommending you, friends. Be Scott. Write out the half dozen small, seemingly insignificant steps you can take every day that can take your life in a completely new and positive direction. Don't be Brad. Write down the small, seemingly insignificant actions you can stop doing that might be compounding your results downward. Okay. List a few areas, skills, or outcomes where you have been most successful in the past. And that's the end of chapter 1. Friends, in a nutshell, small incremental changes lead to exponential result. Let us start with chapter number 2, and that is choices. Friends, we all come into this world the same, naked, scared, and ignorant. After that grand entrance, the life we end up with is simply an accumulation of all the choices we make. Think about it. Everything in your life exists because you first made a choice about something. In essence, you make your choices and then your choices make you. Every choice has an impact on the compound effect of your life. Elephants don't bite. Yes, you heard it right. Elephants don't bite. Have you ever been bitten by an elephant? Okay, how about a mosquito? It's a little thing in life that will bite you. It's the little thing in your life that derails your success. These seemingly small, insignificant decisions can completely throw you off the course because you are not mindful of them. You are not aware of the compound effect of it. For instance, you gulped a bottle of soft drink and ate a packet of potato chips. You finished off that last potato chip and suddenly realized that you blew an entire day of healthy eating and you weren't even hungry. You have allowed yourself to make a choice without thinking. Friends, it's time to wake up and make empowering choices. The first step towards change is awareness. If you want to get from where you are to where you want to be, you have to start by becoming aware of the choices that lead you away from your desired destination. To help you become aware of your choices, I want you to track every action that relates to the area of your life you want to improve. Want to control your diet? Track your choices. Want to save money? Track your choices. If you have decided you want to get out of debt, you are going to track every penny you pull from your pocket. If you have decided you want to lose weight, you are going to track everything you put in your mouth. Simply carry around a small notebook, like a pocket notebook, and a pen. You are going to write it down every day without fail. And once you start tracking your life, your attention will be focused on the smallest things you are doing right, as well as the smallest things you are not doing right. The process will force you to be conscious of your decision. Easy, right? But listen, as Jim Rohn would say, what is simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic is not in the complexity of the task. The magic is in the doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough to ignite the miracle of the compound effect. A horse wins by a nose but gets 10 times the prize money. Is the horse 10 times faster? No, just a little bit better. But it was those extra laps around the track, the extra discipline in the horse's nutrition, or the extra work by the jockey that made the results slightly better with compounded rewards. In a nutshell, your life is a product of your moment-to-moment choices. So, my friends, there are few summary action steps we have to remember, and that is execute your every choice wisely, remembering the effect of compounding effect, and start tracking at least one behavior in one area of your life you would like to change and improve. That is money, nutrition, fitness, recognizing others, parenting, studies, etc. The chapter number 3 is habits. And the author has given a very nice example to state the importance of habits. A wise teacher was taking a stroll through the forest with a young student and stopped before a tiny tree. Pointing towards it, he instructed his student to pull up that sapling. The student pulled it up easily with his fingers. Then, pointing towards a little bigger tree, the teacher asked the student, "Now pull up this one." The tree was well developed, evergreen, and it was as tall as the young student. With great efforts, throwing all his weight and the strength into the task, using sticks and stones, the boy finally got the tree loose and somehow managed to pull it up. Then the teacher said, "Now pull out that one." It was a big oak tree, so tall the boy couldn't hardly see the top. Knowing the great struggle he had just at pulling up the much smaller tree, he simply told his teacher, "I can't take it out." The teacher exclaimed, "My son, you have just demonstrated the power that habits will have over your life. The older they are, the bigger they get, the deeper the root grow, and the harder they are to uproot. Some of them grow so big with roots so deep, you might hesitate to even try." Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Webster Dictionary defines habit is an acquired mode of behavior that has become nearly or completely involuntary. There's a story about a man riding a horse. It appears that he is going somewhere for very important work. A man standing along the roadside shouts, "Where are you going?" The rider replies, "I don't know, ask the horse." This is the story of most of people's lives. They are riding the horse of their habits with no idea where they are headed. It's time to take control of the reins and move your life in the direction of where you really want to go. A daily routine built on good habits is the difference that separates the most successful people from everyone else. Successful people aren't necessarily more intelligent or more talented than anyone else, but their habits take them in the direction of becoming more knowledgeable, more competent, better skilled, and better prepared. Darren Hardy gave an example which his dad used to give him. It's all about Larry Bird. Okay, it's not a name of any bird. Okay, it's a name of one of the greatest basketball player. Larry Bird wasn't known for being the most athletically talented player. Yet, despite his limited natural athletic ability, he led the Boston Celtics to 3 world championships and remained one of the best players of all the times. How did he do it? It was Larry's habits, his relentless dedication to practice and to improve his game. Larry Bird was one of the most consistent free throw shooters in the history of the NBA. When he was growing up, his habit was to practice 500 free throw shots every morning before school. With that kind of discipline, Larry made the most of his God-given talents and kicked the butts of some of the most gifted players on the court. This chapter is all about suppose you lack in innate ability, you can choose to make up for with discipline, hard work, and good habits. So consciously develop good habits and consciously decide to change bad habits. Darren Hardy has mentioned 5 strategies to eliminate bad habits. So friends, let's quickly go through all these 5 strategies to eliminate bad habits. Number 1, identify your triggers. Look at your list of bad habits. For each one you have written down, identify what triggers it. For example, are you more likely to drink much when you are with certain people? Take a closer look at your routine. What situation prompts your bad habits to surface? Get out your notebook and write down your triggers. This simple action alone increases your awareness exponentially. Second, clean house. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, remove every drop of it from your house. If you want to stop watching so much television at night, cancel all your cable, Netflix, and other subscription services. And if you want to eat more healthfully, clean your cupboards of all the crap and stop buying the junk food. Number 3, swap it. Look again at your list of bad habits. Can you replace them with healthier ones? Here, the author gives the example of his sister-in-law. She started a habit of eating crunchy and salty junk food when she watches TV. She had to crunch through a whole bag of chips with little actual awareness. Then she realized that what she really enjoyed was the crunchy sensation in her mouth. She decided to replace her bad habit with crunching on carrot and raw broccoli spears. And she got the same joyful sensation, and she also ate healthy at the same time. Play with this and see what behaviors you can replace. Fourth one, ease in. For some of your long standing and deep rooted habits, it may be more effective to take small steps to ease and into unwinding them. You may have spent years and decades repeating and cementing those habits. So it can be wise to give yourself some time to unravel them. Yes, one step at a time. Ease in. And the fifth one is jump in. Here the author gives his own example. When he was a kid, his family went to Lake Rollins. The lake is fed from glaciers that melt from atop the mountains. The water is ridiculously cold. Every day they went there, Darren just hated getting in the water. His dad made sure that he never missed his turn. Sometimes his dad actually used to throw Darren into the water. Darren says, after a few extremely painful seconds, he always used to find the water refreshing and rejuvenating. Sometimes you really have to jump in full force and suddenly drop that bad habit. For a short while, it can feel quite uncomfortable, but soon after, the body adjusts to the changing environment. Summary action steps. Okay. The first one, identify your 3 best habits, those that support your most important goals. Second, identify your 3 bad habits that take you off the course from your most important goal. And the third one, Identify 3 new habits you need to develop to put yourself on track towards your most important goal. Chapter number 4 is momentum. Do you remember in class 9th and 10th in physics subject, you all learned the Newton's first law of motion? Yes. So what is Newton's first law of motion? Objects at rest tend to stay at rest unless acted by an outside force, and objects in motion tend to stay in motion unless something stops their momentum. And if we put it in another way, couch potatoes tend to stay couch potatoes, and people who are doing something big in life will do more big things. It's not easy to build momentum, but once you do, then you are unstoppable. What happens when a rocket ship launches? The space shuttle uses more fuel during the first few minutes of its flight than it does the rest of the entire trip. Why? Because it has to break free from the pull of gravity, right? And once it does, it can glide in orbit. Your old ways and your old conditioning are just like the pull of gravity. Everything just want to stay at rest. You will need a lot of energy to break this gravity. But once you get momentum, you will be hard to stop. Adopting any change is the same way. You get started by taking one small step and one action at a time. Yes. Do you remember in your childhood, you used to play merry-go-round? Do you remember that? Yes. Initially, you have to put a lot of efforts to get the momentum. But once it catches the speed, then making it easy to keep going and you can enjoy your ride. Just like that, initially, your progress is slow. But once a newly formed habit has kicked in, your success and results compound rapidly. When you are inconsistent, you lose momentum and your entire progress will suffer. The author has given a very powerful example of a pump well. Think of a hand pumped water well. To get the water to the surface, you have to pump the well's lever to create the suction that brings the water above the ground and out of the spout. Now, what happens if you let go the lever for too long? The water falls back down into the ground and you are back to square one. If you try to pump the lever easily and steadily, you won't get any water. Momentum is gone. The water is back at the bottom. The only way to get it back up is to pump it really hard all over. That's how most of us lead our life in fits and starts. We get a new business venture going and then cut out on vacation. We start up a routine of making 10 prospecting calls a day, strike a little gold, and then shift into neutral. I have seen people buying new books, signing up for new programs or seminars, and go like crazy for a couple of weeks or months, and then they stop and end up right back where they started. Most people assume that when they don't perform the action, they are losing the results for those days only. But by slacking off for even a short time, you kill the momentum, it's dead, and it's a huge damage. Always keep the momentum. With momentum, success and results will compound rapidly. So friends, to keep this momentum, let us go for a few action steps. Yes. So what are these action steps? List 3 areas of life which you are not consistent enough. What has this inconsistency cost you in life so far? Make a declaration to stay steadfast in your new commitment to consistency. Chapter number 5 is influences. There are many influences. They either can help or hinder your ability to succeed. In this chapter, let's learn how to use them. Everyone is affected by 3 kinds of influences. One is your input, what you feed your brain. 2 is your association, people you spend time with. And the third is environment, and that is your surroundings. The people with whom you habitually associate are called reference groups. According to research by social psychologist Dr. David, your reference group determines as much as 95% of your success or failure in life. You must know that we become the combined average of the 5 people we hang around the most. You cannot hang out with the negative people and expect to live positive life. So if your friends or colleagues are negative or they are performing things which you don't like, then it's time to spend less time with them and find people with whom you can spend the time with. It's powerful to evaluate and shift your associations into 3 categories. The first one is dissociations. The second one is limited associations. And the third one is expanded associations. The first one is dissociations. You already know this. There are some people in your life you might need to break away from completely. This might not be an easy step to take, but it is essential. You have to make the hard choice not to let certain negative influences affect you anymore. Determine the quality of life you want to have, and then surround yourself with people who represent that vision. Second, limited associations. There are people you can spend 3 hours with, but not 3 days. Others you can spend 3 minutes with, but not 3 hours. Here, Darren gives his own example. He has got a neighbor who is a 3 minutes friend. For 3 minutes, they have a great chit chat, but they wouldn't talk 3 hours. Take a look at your relationships and make sure you are not spending 3 hours with 3 minute person. The third is expanded associations. Yes, we have just talked about weeding out negative influencers. While you are doing that, you will also want to reach out. Identify people who have positive qualities in the area of life where you want to improve. If it's in your budget, then join clubs where these types of people come and gather, like health clubs, business clubs, and organizations. You can find any mentor if you want who has gathered their best thoughts, stories, and ideas into books or courses. Take advantage of it. Read all those books. You will also find decoding of such books on our community. Summary and action steps. Evaluate your current associations. Who might you need to further limit your associations with? Who might you need to completely dissociate from? And evaluate and strategize ways will expand your association. Chapter number 6 is acceleration. And here Darren gives his example when he lived in California. He went for exercise and there he would regularly ride his bike 2 miles straight up, and by this he had to face a lot of pain. And by riding constantly, he reached a point at which is called hit the wall. Just remember this word, hit the wall. Suddenly your mind starts searching all sorts of convenient excuses on why it's okay to stop. It is when you are faced with one of life's greatest questions. Do you push through the pain and continue, or you will crack like a walnut and give up? When Darren was in real estate, he hit the wall several times a day. When his existing properties were not getting sold, and when the last client said no, then his mind starts conjuring up all sorts of excuses to skip the sales call and head back to the office. But instead of quitting, he recognized that his competitors were facing the same challenges. He knew this was another moment that if he kept going, he would be strides ahead of them. These were the defining moments of success. It's not getting to the wall that counts, it is what you do after you hit it that counts. Uh, let's say you are doing weight training and your coach says to do 12 repetitions of a certain weight. Now, if you do the 12, you are fulfilling the expectations of your coach. Yet, if you get to 12, even if you have hit your max and you push out another 3 to 5, your impact on that set will be multiplied several times. You don't just add a few reps to the aggregate of your workout. Those reps done after you hit your max will multiply your result. You have just pushed through the wall of your max. The previous 12 reps just got you there. The real growth happens after that 12 reps, means when you hit the wall. So you must apply this concept in every area of your life. You must do beyond what is expected. Suppose if you are a student, you want to pass the exam with flying colors, or you want to crack any competitive exam, and you study today for 8 to 9 hours, and you reach the goal you have set for that day. Now you are tired like anything and you want to stop. You are at your wall, but you go little farther, little longer. That little longer is really massive expansion of your limits. And that little longer will multiply your results. Giving a little more time, energy, or thoughts to your efforts won't only improve your results, it will multiply them. It takes very little extra to be extraordinary. In all areas of your life, look for the opportunities where you can go little further, push yourself little harder, last a little longer, prepare a little better, and deliver a little bit more. And the level and speed of your accomplishment will astonish you and everyone else around you. So now, summary action steps. Find 3 areas in your life where you can do extra, that is exercise, studies, sales calls, recognition, etc. Find any 3 areas where you can do little extra to become extraordinary. And that brings us to the end of the last chapter of this wonderful life transforming book. At the end, I would tell you this book is a brilliant formula for living an extraordinary life. If possible, buy this book and read it. And most importantly, take action upon it. I, Sunil Sawant, wish you very happy, successful, and meaningful life. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to communicate with you. Share this video with minimum 5 people so that you can contribute in their success through this video and through this wonderful book. If you're not subscribed our channel yet, then kindly subscribe now and hit the bell icon for the notifications of our upcoming videos and many more book summaries like this. See you in the next book decoding session. Till then, keep reading and keep learning.